The simplest and greatest wisdom to understand life. Leo Tolstoy's What is Man Living For? Dear readers, when you hear the word reading, does it make your head ache, and do you feel it's a complex and difficult task? Do you think it is something far from you? Perhaps you associate it with tedious study for exams or the privilege of those with extensive knowledge and refinement. However, the story I want to introduce to you today will shatter all preconceptions and offer a profound understanding capable of shaking the very foundation of our lives. It is the short story by Leo Tolstoy, What is Man Living For? This book is not thick, and its sentences are simple and easy to understand. It reads as easily and comfortably as the tales your grandmother told you in your childhood. Yet, the wisdom held within answers fundamental questions about human nature and the meaning of life, leaving an unforgettable impression on your heart. It is accessible to all people regardless of knowledge or refinement, as it addresses issues every living human should deeply contemplate, presented in the most gentle and warm manner. Leo Tolstoy, the great Russian literary giant, presents questions about life. Let me first briefly introduce the author, Leo Tolstoy. He was a Russian literary giant whose works, such as War and Peace and Anna Karenina, have left an indelible mark on world literature. But he was not only a novelist. He was also a philosopher and thinker who spent his life contemplating the true meaning of life and moral values. Born into a wealthy aristocratic family, he gradually realized that material wealth could not provide true happiness for people. He deeply empathized with the poor and farmers. In his later years, he gave up all of his possessions and lived a simple life, practicing the values of love, nonviolence, and sharing. What is Man Living For? Is a work fully reflecting Tolstoy's spiritual world. Instead of complex philosophical arguments, Tolstoy chose a simple parable form to share the answers he had found about life with readers in an accessible way. The plot of What is Man Living For? The suffering and realizations of an angel. The main plot of this story is quite concise. It tells the story of an angel named Michael, cast down to earth by God as punishment. Michael, in the body of a human, wanders the streets barefoot in the cold winter. He is discovered by a poor but kind cobbler named Simon. Simon was worried about his evening meal, and his wife Matryona was angry that her husband had once again returned empty-handed after drinking. Initially, Matryona harshly reprimanded Simon for bringing in the strange man, but in the face of Mikhailo's freezing condition and Simon's pleas, she eventually gave him clothes and warm soup. Michael quietly lived with the Simon couple, learning the art of shoemaking and observing the words and actions of their visitors. Through 3 special incidents, a smile finally appeared on Michael's face, and he ultimately understood the reason he was sent to the human world, finding the answers to the 3 major questions about human life. First realization: one day, a noblewoman came in and ordered shoes for her child. She revealed that the children were actually her deceased sister's twins. The children had lost both parents early but had grown up well under her care. This was the first time Michael smiled. He found the answer to the question, what lies in the heart of a person? It was love. Observing the noblewoman who had raised children who were not her own with love, Michael realized that humans are beings capable of selfless love for others beyond self-interest. Second realization: soon after, a wealthy aristocrat came to order shoes made of the finest leather. He also signed a contract promising responsibility in case he died before the shoes were finished. But the aristocrat unexpectedly passed away the next evening before even trying on the shoes. This was the second time Michael smiled. He found the answer to the question, what is not given to people? It was the ability to know what they actually need. Humans cannot know their future. They cannot even predict what they need to live today. Tolstoy reveals the foolishness of humans who chase wealth, status, and material abundance, while their lives can be gone in an instant. Third realization: after some time, the twin girls who had been cared for by the noblewoman came to Simon's shop as young, beautiful women. In their eyes, Michael saw the same light of love. He smiled joyfully and found the answer to the final question, what is man living for? Recognizing he had found the answers to all three questions and the reason he had been sent to Earth, he revealed his true identity. And with his final words, he concluded, "Man does not live by physical toil, but by love." The implications of what is man living for? Life wisdom beyond knowledge and refinement. This short story might seem like a simple fairy tale, but the meaning it carries delivers a powerful message that deeply resonates with our entire life. Even readers who find reading difficult may gain the following deep reflections from this story. 1. The true value beyond material wealth. We often believe that happiness lies in money, power, reputation, or beautiful appearances. We strive tirelessly for better homes, more expensive cars, and higher incomes. However, Tolstoy vividly shows how empty these pursuits are by depicting a wealthy nobleman ordering the finest shoes, only to die without ever wearing them. The real force that sustains our lives lies not in bank balances or social status, but in small acts of love and solidarity we share with each other. Simon, who struggled merely to survive one day, is paradoxically richer in spirit than the aristocrat who was trapped by desires and unaware of his own fate. 2. The strength of altruism beyond self-interest. At first, Matryona was furious at Simon for bringing in a strange man, a very realistic and self-centered reaction. However, upon seeing Michael on the verge of freezing to death, compassion arose in her heart, and she eventually gave him warm clothes and food. This small act of kindness not only saved a life but also brought unexpected peace and blessings to the Simon family. Sometimes, we may feel that selfishness and individualism dominate our surroundings. However, this book reminds us that deep within human nature lies the warm heart of love for others, which is the strongest source of life. It demonstrates how even small acts of kindness can transform our lives and society. 3. Accepting the unpredictability of life and humility. The truth that humans are not given the ability to know what they truly need teaches us humility. We cannot accurately predict the future. Therefore, we must do our best in the present, be grateful for today, and accumulate love and goodness without fear of an unpredictable future. We must remember that wealth and reputation can vanish in an instant, but love remains a lasting value. Real wisdom begins when we recognize how futile our plans and desires can be, and we humbly accept life with humility, shedding arrogance. 4. The ultimate answer to all life's questions. Love. Michael concludes with the final realization: man lives by love. This is not an abstract slogan. All events and characters in the novel, from the love shown by the Simon family in accepting Michael, to the aunt who raised the twin orphans, and the sibling bond as the orphans grew up, are all connected by the single value of love. Love begins with acts like feeding a hungry person or clothing a cold one. It is the heart that shares in others' suffering, cherishes one's presence, and forgives and understands. Tolstoy believed that no matter the situation or question we face, the ultimate answer lies in this love. Regardless of knowledge, love remains the most universal and great truth that every human can experience and practice. Why you need this book? Are you currently feeling weighed down and burdened by the pressures of life? Do you feel uncertain about why you are working so hard? Or do you sense loneliness and conflict in your relationships with others? What is man living for? We'll provide you with clear and warm answers to these questions. This book is not meant to convey difficult and complex knowledge. Rather, it reminds us of the simplest and most essential values we often overlook in life. For those who rarely read, this book can be the first step to experiencing the power of reading's moving, comforting, and insightful nature. Because it breaks down the barriers of literature and explores human emotions and truths accessible to all of us. Sometimes, one book can offer greater insight than hundreds of lectures or decades of experience. This small story by Tolstoy will help you see the world differently, redefine your relationships with others, and ultimately enrich your own life with meaning and abundance. The amount of knowledge one possesses does not automatically bring wisdom in life. What truly matters is a pure and open heart seeking to explore the essence of life. What is man living for? Is a book open to all those with such a heart? I sincerely hope this book helps you discover the seeds of love lying dormant within you and nourish them so they bloom into beautiful flowers. Today, right now, meet this great story. Listen carefully to the question Tolstoy poses and, through the answers he provides, I sincerely wish your life to shine even brighter. The true answer to what is man living for will likely begin within your own heart.